Ready. Play.
Strong performance. What are your thoughts being back on these courts?
Yeah, for sure. I'm happy with the performance, especially how I used the important moments at the end of first and second set. And yeah, it's never easy to play first match on any stadium, and here especially because the conditions are a little bit more tricky. So I'm happy that I'm through.
Congrats.
Thank you.
You mentioned on court that Southern California Indian Wells was a little overwhelming for you at first when you were a new player, and now you've gotten kind of comfortable here. I just wonder if you could elaborate a little bit and talk about what you've come to like about this place, and is it one of maybe the places you look forward to coming to more than any other, and if so, for what reason?
Yeah, for sure. Here we always spend a lot of time here because we're getting here earlier to have a jet lag basically. So yeah, when I was younger, I just I felt overwhelmed by the all these fans, and the courts are so big even though it's not a Grand Slam. So and everybody is kind of more motivated and more pumped to practice. So at first I felt that, but now I just take a lot of positive energy from everything that's going on. The tournament is taking care of us really nicely, and I don't know, I feel more comfortable kind of everywhere because I just grew up and I got more experienced. So it's always nice to also come back to a place where you already won a tournament.
Okay, we'll go right here.
Hi. You seem to be a very steady from players you played before, and especially players who pushed you. Do you learn a lot when there's a player that pushes you and you try and improve that sort of head-to-head a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. Well, we try to watch and analyze, and since I started, working with my coach, the one that I'm working with right now, Tomasz Wiktorowski, he has a really good eye and really good perspective on tennis. And when we started watching matches, I just felt like I can learn tactically much more and then use it on court. So I remember having a few players that I didn't like playing against, and then I started to, be more comfortable and win against them. So yeah, for sure, his help is a lot.
Hi. In the past, you said one of the things you learned is in the long process of a tennis year to play well when you're not necessarily feeling that well, or tired, or just out of sorts. Could you just talk about how you perform, how you manage to perform well when you're not feeling well?
Well, honestly, there are different reasons, so you have to react differently and find different solutions. I think most of players would tell you that they don't feel comfortable most of the time. They only have probably, I don't know, if they have 5 tournaments per year where they feel great. That's a lot, so yeah, you have to just kind of don't panic and take it step by step, because I already had plenty of tournaments where I didn't play well, during the first matches, and then I was able to change my game and adjust a little bit more, so I could win titles, So this gave me a little bit more perspective, and it showed me that I shouldn't, judge too early my game, even though I may not, play so well or feel comfortable. And for sure, this kind of approach helps to, find these solutions and actually problem solve.
We'll go Russell on the back.
How hard do you find this part of the season, Eva, given that there were the 2 back-to-back 1,000 events in the Middle East and then a week off, and then 2 more back-to-back 1,000 events?
Well, for me the what kind of tournament that is, it doesn't really matter, but for sure I think being in Indian Wells brings a little bit to the top players. They have much more things to do, and there are always sponsor shoots and stuff like that. So I would say You know, switching from being in Middle East where everything is so like peaceful, you're just focusing on tennis and that's it, and you have kind of the same rhythm every day because you only they're starting the matches pretty late there, and we only have WTA. The schedule is pretty smooth, and then going here where there's so much fast, you know, I think this is pretty tricky, but I know this place already, so it's not a problem for me, and it's the intensity is just tough, but on the other hand, I'm one of these players that can kind of cope physically, and so that doesn't worry me as well.
You mentioned that you like it here, you feel comfortable here, even the courts are so big, even though it's not a slam. Do you have a list in your head of the tournaments that you want to win that are outside the slams, and do you rank them in a certain way? And what is most important to you outside of the slams in particular tournaments?
I don't have that kind of list. Probably because when I start the season, I don't think about actually like winning titles. I think about, you know, just working and getting my game together. So no, for me, yeah, I don't really. For me, it doesn't really matter if I win, you know, Doha or I win Indian Wells or Montreal or Cincinnati. Like, tournament is a tournament. I want to win every tournament I play at. So yeah, it doesn't matter.
Do you enjoy the process of sitting down with Tomas, as you said, watching video, breaking down your opponents? And are there some things that you learned from the video that maybe you didn't even feel during the match?
Yeah, there are plenty of situations where I can see that, oh, I thought I did this differently or something like that. But yeah, usually it's just a learning process, and I like it. But sometimes, obviously, we have to watch these matches that didn't go well, you know. So it's not nice to see like yourself, you know, in troubles, but it's necessary to learn. So it's part of the job. That's all.
You're just saying about you don't make lists of I want to win this tournament or that tournament, etc. But do you, at the beginning of the year, do you set an end goal of what is the main achievement that you want?
Honestly, last couple of years, they kind of messed with my head that way, that, you know, I achieved much more than I ever expected, you know. So making goals that are based on the results is pretty tricky for me, because honestly, just winning, I don't know, 2 tournaments per year would be, you know, all I ever dreamed of, honestly, and even more. So I'm trying to set my goals, you know, for more kind of technical stuff, like, you know, working on my serve and actually being more comfortable at the net and stuff like that, you know. So it's not tournament related, it's more process related, and I think that's also, you know, how Daria kind of pushed me in that direction. So I think these goals are kind of healthier.
Have you, in one sense, then, have you surprised yourself with what you've done?
Yeah, of course.
Alright, thanks everyone.
Thank you. See you. Have a good day.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.